Hello and welcome back to my channel, Emma Jane's Garden. I am on my plots and I thought I'd just give you a quick tour of what's going on and what I'm growing at the moment. It's been a while since I've done any videos. I'm sorry about that. I did record one but never put it out, and I've watched it back since and it's a bit of a doom and gloom one, so maybe I'll put a couple of snippets of that into this one and I'll show you what I've done with the beds that were annoying me at that point. But I needed to make that video because it really gave me a bit of a kick up the butt to get things moving. So let's have a look and I'll show you where I've got to. I haven't been down to the plots since Friday and it is now Sunday afternoon, because I've had all sorts on. I've had weddings, funerals, I've had a market on Saturday, so this last week has just been a bit blur, so I've done nothing other than cut flowers and go. So I'll take you around with me and see what's going on in the plot. So these are my middle, I call them my middle plots, but they're kind of now the bottom ones because the one that I used to have, which was behind me, I now don't own. I've given it to somebody else. So this is full of annuals, and this is something I haven't grown before and it's called Candy Tuff, and I saw that Georgie Newbury from Common Run Flowers grew it last year. She had I think like a pale blue version. I bought the white because I always need white for weddings and stuff. It's actually quite pretty. It's quite short though, but I think maybe I should have pinched it out earlier. So I've done an experiment of pinching out some of the ones further up and they're not flowering yet, so maybe that's what I need to do. I've got some larkspur. I fought larkspur in a lot of weeds. Do need to get that. There was no weeds in there 4 days ago. I don't know what's going on. We've had some rain, that's what it was. And then now it's looking like it's Nigella. So I actually got the seed from my mother-in-law, and when side by side they looked very similar as seedlings, and I'm pretty sure this is Nigella now. The bed behind, this is dahlias. How can I get there without treading on everything? Let's go this way. So I only put these dahlias in about 2 weeks ago. Not even that actually, probably last week. I've got one here that obviously didn't make it in the ground. I mean, it's still quite hard. Here, look. Oh, it's not going to focus. There, look. There's a bud on it. So I'm going to put that in the ground somewhere. Right, I'll do that in a minute. So we've got, these were all tubers when I put them in. They were just, basically these were all my leftover tubers that I've got no names for them. So there's one here, broken up. There we go, look, there we go, little thing. One back there is just starting to sprout. So I've got them all the way along this bed and they were all tubers and they just were the ones that I just didn't know what to do with, didn't have any names on, and I was actually going to bin them, which is why this one's on the ground. And then I thought, oh sod it, I'm just going to dig this over. So I dug this patch over real quick and planted them in it. So I'm glad I did actually, because they're all sprouting. I didn't actually think they were going to. Oh, that one's a named one. What was that one? Oh, I know, this is Western Ella Grace, which is one that I really didn't like last year, and I've had it a couple of years, but when it's in a bouquet it looks stunning. So I it actually died over the winter, so I thought, because when I dug it up it was completely mush. So I put this all on the compost heap, and this bit luckily had this still stuck in it, and when I looked on the compost heap it started growing. So she obviously wants to grow, so I'm glad I put her in because she looks brilliant in bouquets, but she's not the prettiest of dahlias to have just in the garden, I don't think anyway. Everyone else around here seems to think she's lovely. Then we've got lovely Vivu, self-seeded. Love a self-seeder, always great. This bed I only did last week, so you can see I've only dug up to this was where all my dahlias were last year. So these two beds were actually my dahlia beds last year, actually free, where the black plastic was as well. But I have actually moved all my dahlias. Oh, don't make it windy. Where'd the wind come from? So in here I've just put some perennials. In fact, these are just things that were in pots that desperately needed to go in the ground. So I've just dug it over and plonked them in the ground. This is self-seeded Dorcas, so Dorcas Carota, that's that one. And then these are self-seeded Verbena. I lost all my Verbena, apart from that one there this year, and actually they've all self-seeded around, so I'm glad about that. There's a couple of dahlias at the back, one there and one there, which I didn't get around to digging out, so I'm just going to leave them there for this year, and I'll just weed. This bed, I did this back ages ago, and I was going to put the holes through it and start growing in it, and my hole burner died on me, so I haven't got a hole burner at the moment, and I don't want to cut through this because it frays, so that's why that's left like that. So I might even just roll it back and plant into it, but if I can get another weed burner, it's like a weed burner thing, so that I can burn the holes, that would be even better. This is my snapdragons, they're just starting, so these always do really well in this black plastic, because it actually, even when we had that really hot weather, it was still damp underneath there, so these do really well. Again, I didn't pinch these, some of these aren't pinched, so you can see this one here wasn't pinched, so it's gone long and tall, whereas this one was, and it's bushier, so just see that one wasn't pinched. So it just goes to show you, really, you do need to pinch them when they're really young, but I didn't. The big daisy, the wild daisy, I can't even remember, it begins with an M, I think. That's been absolutely fantastic. It's not got the best smell, but it stands up and lasts for ages in a vase. In fact, I can get a good nearly 10 days to 2 weeks out of those daisies if you pick them at the right stage, and unfortunately I can't even show you what the right stage is now because they've all gone over. I was going to try, I wonder if this, hang on, let's have a look. Is this one any good? This is looking quite, yeah, this is a good example. So you can see the outer bits are of the yellow are coming out, and the inner are still quite tight. The best time to pick it is when they're all tight, like that inner section. So if they're all like that, that's the best time to pick it. If you pick it when it's like this, it'll last, well, it won't even last, it'll go over before you've even got it home. So the best time to get it is kind of, I don't know if I can see in there, yeah, can you see that all the ones in there are completely tight? So when that opens, that would be perfect, like literally, so tomorrow that one would be perfect for cutting. I've got some self-seeded cornflower here, which is always a bonus because I couldn't get cornflower to grow whatsoever. It is inside a dock, mind you. I've been using this dock in my arrangements and it actually looks really nice. Right, I've got a load of Dorcas here, which I put in January time, so I sowed this in November and this went out in January, so it's not doing as good as the self-seeded stuff, to be honest, but I don't know, I think it's fatter and they'll be bigger. That's what's in there. This rubbish here, this is actually all my daffodils are underneath all of this. In fact, underneath these daisies as well, it's all my daffodils, and last year hardly any of the ones I planted the year before came up this year, and I was absolutely gutted because I had some gorgeous varieties, and I think they just dried out completely. So what I've done is I let them die down, and then I've covered them in plastic just to keep a bit of the dampness in, and see what happens. But I am going to try and dig them out when I get a minute to dig them out and see if I can rescue any of them, the new ones I put in this year. So in this bed I've got a wedding in October, and they want pumpkins, and they want those tiny little, really cute, they're called Baby Boo and Jack Be Little. So I've got a whole frame of pumpkins there, and then I've got some other pumpkins, I can't remember what I've done with them. I've planted them somewhere. Oh, they're in this bed here, which is for this wedding. So they are growing some as well, and I'm growing some, so hopefully we'll have enough for all the tables, because they want pumpkins, the little baby pumpkins, as table displays. Then we've got courgettes here, and look, oh my, look, they're just starting, their little yellow ones. And actually I didn't know if these were the yellow or green because I had to plant them 3 times because nothing was growing and something kept eating them. So actually the yellow ones have come. Oh, they're all yellow, that's good. So there's some cornflowers I've put in. This is kind of all the cornflowers I can get to grow, which is a bit rubbish. I also found some tomatoes down, someone had left some at the bottom of the allotments, so I've just stuck them in. These are sweet peas, which desperately obviously need to be strung up. I need to do that. They've grown loads. And this is new to me, this bean. It's actually a cut flower. And it is called, I've never used it, so I don't know if it's any good. Don't know if you can see that. One of those. It's a purple bean, and it has purple flowers that you can use as cut flowers, and then it comes with purple beans that you can eat, apparently. So we'll see. That is a new thing for me. I actually saw it on another YouTube channel, someone from an American lady, and she was growing that, and I think she was zone 6B. So I thought, well, it must be able to grow outside. So I've stuck them out here, and they went like a browny, coppery colour when I first put them out. I was like, oh, I've killed them. But now they're looking really healthy. So hopefully, well, I'll show you them as they get bigger anyway. And then I've got some, I think this is Ami Visinage, I think that's how you say it, which is the green one, which is this. It looks like a weed here, it's not, it's actually Ami. This is millet growing here. These are some bulbs, I'm not actually sure what they were. I think they're like a white flower. And then this is my panicum, which is the frosted explosion, which is actually just starting to flower over here. And that one. So that's, I love that. And then I've got a few. Oh, this is the daisy. It's called Crazy Daisy, which I've got down there. I just split this one up and put it down there. And then I've got some achillea on this bed, and that is Solidago as well. We just push through the weeds. This is what the other video looked like. My whole allotments look like this, but this was full of spring things. I had ranunculus, which didn't do anything. I had a few bits and pieces here, so I kind of move allotments as I go through the seasons. So this one now will just be not left, but I just need to work on it, but it'll be a winter project. It has got a few bits growing in it. I love using this. Is oregano. This is beautiful. I love using this. Got some dahlias, mint, a few sweet williams left, and this, I believe it to be willow herb. I did not plant it. It is a weed, but I have used it and it stands up really well, so I'm keeping it. And this is an achillea, which is a yellow one. I think it's called golden something. I'm not quite sure. And this was where my alliums were. They've all died back now. These are the drumstick alliums, are just starting to colour up, so they're just about to start going in bouquets. And then I actually can't remember what this is called. This is looking lovely, but it didn't flower last year at all, so this is looking good. There was a whole row of them, and that's the only one that survived, so hopefully that'll be okay. I use this mint loads in wedding bouquets. It is pineapple mint, variegated one, and I always put it right by the handle of where I do my bride's bouquet, so it gives them a bit of a calming smell as they're stressfully getting ready. This was my Canterbury bells, which were absolutely amazing, and they got rained on, and this is what's happened to them since they got rained on, but they were stunning. I'll have to put a picture in of a bride's bouquet that I did using these, and it was so pretty. I loved it. But yeah, this was all daffodils up here, and down here I've got some gladioli there, and a little bit of verbena. But that's it in this one. Nothing too exciting. It's mainly mint, to be honest, because I grow a lot of this mint. So let's cross the path. Still clutching onto this dahlia. I'm going to make sure that lives. We'll cross the path to the I call them the new plots. They are my top plots now. So I'm going to go in here. So pretty. So I've got a few of those. I've got some other bulbs growing here. These are nerines. So hopefully, I had to re-dig this up because I didn't realise you had to plant them with them sticking out like this. It was only when I was watching Chelsea that someone said that they need to be baked by the sun, because on the packet it said put them in 10 centimetres deep, so I did put them really deep, so I had to dig them all up and replant them. So they've been dug up again, so they might take a little bit longer. This is some more of that blue thistle. These are only this year's plants, so they won't be picked this year either. I'll just leave them to bulk up. Here is some verbena. I got some cuttings here. So this whole row, well, you can see the weeds. This whole row is verbena, but I just need to weed this out. And then I've got some poppies here which are for a wedding, which I've got coming up soon. Look at these, absolutely stunning. So these are called champagne bubbles, these ones. Look at this one, she's beautiful. Look at her, absolutely, what a gorgeous colour. So I'm looking forward to using it. I've not used the poppies before, so I'm going to start practicing with them next week, seeing how well they last. This is a little group of cornflowers that did survive, and they're looking good, along with a potato which I did not plant. There's always seem to have potatoes on this allotment. Got a few dahlias which clearly need to still go in. So actually I'm going to pop him there, and then I must put them in tomorrow. These are dahlias which I put in the same time as those ones down the bottom. Again, don't know the names of these. This around them is just coffee grounds. So we've got a bean grinder at home, so I use those. More dahlias, so dahlias basically all the way up. And then I've got my roses here. Some of them are going over now. So these poor roses keep getting moved, but they're in this cage now to keep them protected from the deer, and hopefully I will be able to use some. I don't use them very often, to be honest, in my floristry. Oh, look at these. These have come out. Oh, you can't even see how gorgeous that is, and it's actually a real pinky colour. It's coming out red on the camera, but it's beautiful. And look at this. Oh, this is more purple than it shows on here. These have come out. These are beautiful. I don't know the names of these though. These are ones that I've picked that had no names when I bought them, so I'm not sure what they are. Got some more courgettes here. Yes, I don't use roses much in my floristry, because people like the wild style of my stuff, and that sometimes roses doesn't fit with that. But I do love roses, so that's why I grow them, because I personally love them. Corn cockles, can't remember, limonium here. This is all my fruit, so this is all looking really good. And I moved all this year from my other plot to there, and actually I didn't think it was going to fruit at all. And look, we've even got blueberries coming. That's really good. I'm glad they can. This one's not doing too good, but it is still fruiting. But it's looking like I need to do a good prune on this poor little red currant. This is my peony bed. Oh, what has happened here? This is my ammi. Oh no. This is the only ammi that I could get to germinate this year. I've got like 7 or 8 plants here. Oh, I don't know what. Well, if anyone knows what's happened to these, please let me know. Because it looks like I don't have any ammi this year now. I couldn't get anything to germinate, and now they've all died. Oh, I wonder what happened. Because that's not dry. It's damp, the soil. That's not dry. And like I say, 2 days ago, when I was here, they were fine. That's a bit annoying. Anyway, this is my peony bed. Then I've got foxgloves, and they are the perennial white foxgloves, and then I've got white delphiniums at the back there as well. In the tunnel is actually just strawberries. We were just bringing them on. I think they're all over now, to be honest. We've eaten so many strawberries out of here. And this is actually meant to be more dahlias, but as you can see, it hasn't been dug over, and it is full of fennel. So the people that had this plot, that had the plot before me, had this, it was so full of fennel, it's ridiculous. And I don't really like using it, because the stems are all, they go at like a zigzag, and so they're really difficult to use. So I don't really use them, and I find that the actual fennel leaf goes over super quick. So I never really use it, to be honest. Right, let's go through to the polytunnel plot. Okay, so on the polytunnel plant we have got a lot of fruit. Now this is all blackcurrant. Oh look. But they are looking good. But this is all blackcurrant, and I find blackcurrants don't get eaten by the birds. But I don't like them either, so that's great. And we've got some lovely gooseberries. Now these are really yummy. I love these. These are my favourite. I bet it's going to be sour now. It's actually really sweet. I'm going to have another one here. Yeah, there it. Oh, two. Oh, that's going to be a sour one. Huh? That was a mistake. Oh, this one isn't. Right, what have we got down here? Let's have a look. So, in amongst a jungle of blackcurrants, which are going to have to be moved because I don't like them. Annoyingly, some ragwort. Bane of my life, I'm forever picking these out. As we've got an allotment right opposite, but people don't ever do anything to it. It's full of ragwort normally. And all the seeds last year came over on everything. Anyway, so we've got pittosporum, because I absolutely love pittosporum. Two different types of variegated one. I've got I think it's a cornice here. And then I've got some flowering blackcurrants here, which are new, so they won't be any good until maybe not even next year, year after. Oh, and I've just dotted in some, I can't think they're called, cosmos. Oh my gosh, I just realised it's got bindweed wrapping itself around. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Weed city. Loads of cosmos that needs to go in. Let's have a look. Here we go. So here are some more of the, so you can see the ones I pinched, they seem to have branched a bit better. They are starting to flower now. They weren't flowering the other day. So that's the candy tuft. In amongst the weeds. These are grown so quick, but luckily it's this stuff that's super easy to pull out. You just pull it. So it won't take long to get it back to looking okay. But this is, oh gosh, my brain isn't working tonight. Scabious. So this is the, I think it's summer berries, scabious. And this, oh stop, that's the same things. That's might be two different types actually, because they're flowering and they're not ready yet. But that's scabious anyway. A couple of sunflowers. I haven't got a lot of sunflowers this year, but I have got a wedding that needs sunflowers, so I have got someone else growing me some sunflowers. Some cosmos. Again, didn't pinch the cosmos. Well, I did this one, and you can see how it's. Can you see how it's branched? Because I pinched it, opposed to this one that I didn't. That's a runner bean. I find some random things on this allotment. So this allotment is new to me this year, and people obviously had it last year, and there were beans here, but there was a runner bean. Maybe I'll get a pole for it in a minute. Put a pole up for it. Why not? I'll have some runner beans as well. I had some self-sown runner beans. You know, they just put themselves there the other day, so I dug them up and planted them. They're doing all right as well. Strange. You know, free food, I'm not going to complain. Right, this is the messy area. Working area, basically, of my plot. So I need to get rid of all these weeds because I can't actually get into my box. I can't believe this has all come up since really this time last weekend. These weren't here. This has grown so fast. This is crazy. Oh, look. Oh, dahlia's growing. My mum gave me this one. Absolutely useless for cutting, but pretty nonetheless. I love the foliage, to be honest. I like the foliage more than the flowers. And this is a mystery dahlia. I'm not sure, so I'm not stopping it. I'm just letting it flower so I know what it is. Right, we've got some Sweet William. Desperately need to go in the ground. They should have gone in ages ago. I've got some more snapdragons. More snapdragons here that desperately needs, in fact, this all needs to go in. I can even tell you what that is. That is, they're straw flowers, that's what it is. I've got some more of the panicum. These are poppies. More snapdragons. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. This is my Jip Covent Garden. Oh no, what a disaster. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, it was a red one. I've never had a red. I've never seen the red one. Oh, so this was the red and this was the white. Something has eaten that. That was like up here, and I really should have planted it last week, but I was so busy, I just did not have the time. Well, that's frustrating. Hopefully, look, can you see? Basically, all it's done is they've just pinched it for me. I wonder what's done that though. Again, if you know what's done this. Oh, can't focus. That doesn't look like slugs, but then maybe it is. That's weird. Mice, maybe? Could be mice because they were down here. So I've got some foxgloves, which really, I don't know what to do with them. They were looking really good, and then they got drowned. Oops. Some phlox, which obviously needed to go in ages ago. A few other bits and pieces that should have gone in. That pot over there's got dahlia in it. And I've got these. These are scented, so these are really good for going in brides' things as well. Yeah, for brides' bouquets and stuff. Not necessarily for the flower, but more for the... It's so new you could smell it. They smell amazing. And then this is the polytunnel, which is actually looking awesome. So I've got this like triffid type grapevine growing in here, which I don't really want, but it gives a really good shade to the green, the polytunnel, which actually means it's not overly hot in here. So that's perfect. So actually I just need to keep it trimmed back, I think, because it's gone a bit wild, as has everything in the last couple of days. So what have we got here? We have got all sorts. We've got larkspur. I've got more larkspur. This is a direct sown larkspur, so that'll be coming up. These I did in November, so these are yeah, so they're flowering now. I've got a couple of tomatoes which I did put these. This is Panicum Frosted Explosion again. This is a weed. This is a weed. Okay, so I need to come and take these weeds out because I'm going to do it now and then I won't be able to do this video. So anyway, so yeah, I've got some phlox here. That looks like a courgette or a pumpkin or something. I told you I keep finding weird things growing here. Don't know, didn't plant it. Well, we'll see what happens. So the phlox, basically what you just need to do is these stems, you just need to snip off these bits like this. So you just go around taking off all these little flowers like this. Pair of scissors is fine, and then that'll encourage really long like growth like this one here. So it's really much longer. So you just keep on doing it until it starts to send out really long shoots. So I do need to get on and do this. These are my phlox, which are a total disaster this year. I mean, they smell amazing. I'm not complaining about the smell. I just think they've all come up as singles, and to be honest, they're really not that pretty. They look scrappy, and I have used them in some things because they give a lovely smell, and they're okay if you're mixing them with other things. But I like to do a thing of big mix of stocks, but I haven't been able to this year, so I have had to buy in stocks. Oh, that's dark. So yeah, I've had to buy in some stocks this year, but they've come from another British grower, a Cornish grower actually, so I'm not too worried that I've had to order some. But it's just frustrating when you grow some and they turn out to all be complete duds. But anyway, so this is I've got snapdragons here. Let me show you. These are my snapdragons, and I'm hoping to keep these in here for next year. So the ones that I had in my other polytunnel, which is the bottom, which I don't actually use that much anymore, they came back this year bigger and better than last year, and they gave me snapdragons really early in the season, so they've only just gone over now, which have been amazing. So I'm hoping that these ones in the tunnel I can get to go through the winter. These are some zinnia which I planted. I wish I'd done more now, because I thought I was going to direct sow them into the polytunnel and do them that way, and I just never got round to it. Once I started getting orders through for bouquets and that, I just didn't have time to get in here and plant stuff. So that's all I've got, and it's a bit of a shame because I quite like the zinnia, but they do need pinching, because I haven't pinched those either. I've been really bad about this pinching this year. This is rat tail status. Now these poor little things were in plugs last week, and they've been desperate to go out for ages. They were looking amazing at one point, and then I thought I must put them out, and then put them to one side and forgot them. So actually I think I need to take the flowers off, and then they'll put more energy into going into the ground. Don't know what's going on here. It's a bit dry actually. Some areas are dry and some aren't. But yeah, so these are my sweet peas. Oh, this is all looking lovely. They're gonna need some these taken off, and the tendrils and bits and pieces. But these were my autumn sown sweet peas, so I put these in November, and then I left them in the tunnel, so they're actually doing really well. But I think they might be coming to an end actually now, ready for the ones outside to come, which I don't think I showed you actually. So these are some cornflowers which I sowed in desperation because I couldn't get anything to do, and they seem to come up really well in the polytunnel. So that's something to know for next year, is I will definitely be putting some more cornflowers in the polytunnel. Yeah, I like them. So that's a quick tour of everything I've got going on here at the moment. I'm actually really busy making bouquets, weddings and stuff, so which is the whole point, is I wanted to be busy and I wanted to do the floristry. So the growing side has gone to the side slightly, but I am still going to keep on growing because I love growing the flowers, and I love being able to say that I've picked stuff from the garden and I've come down and I come and get it, and that's like one of my biggest selling points. So I will never not sell, but I do need to order and buy in. But luckily I found some lovely growers near me who can supply me with flowers, and they are the same sort of flowers that I grow, and in the same, no peat free, you know, everything's peat free, no chemicals, so they've got the same ethos as I do for everything. So I don't mind buying in from other local growers. It helps them, helps me. So that's what I'm doing for this year. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my little whistle-top tour of what's going on. And I just better go and say hello to everybody. And I will see you in the next video, and hopefully it won't be too long. Right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.